You're listening to the Hill Brothers Podcast.
What's going on, Tar Heel fans? Alan, Nathan, we're the Hill Brothers. Whew. This is the Hill Bro Pod 15.
Newly revamped.
New look, new sponsor. Everybody hates us. The Tar Heels, that is. Sorry, not us as in me and Nathan. we're safe from the hate.
Well,
Yeah. Nathan's finishing his coffee. He has a snazzy. Oh, he's got 2 cups. That's what kind of day it's been, I guess.
Heck, I'm prepared.
He has a new snazzy light bar in the back, as you can see,
This thing's cool, ain't it?
fluttering the blue and white for us. It is pretty cool.
Dude, this thing will actually do. You can sing to it, and it'll like light up as you sing. If you play music, it'll match your beat. There's even a romantic setting for all of you lovely ladies out there. There's all kinds of things. Light Tower. Go to lightower.com. L-I-T. I will spell that for you now. LITETOWER. Light Tower.
Tell us more about this romantic setting, Nathan.
Well, you see. As the two human anatomies come together.
Okay, we're just going to skip that part. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah. Catch it next week on episode 16. That's a preview for next week's show.
Hey, you got the K-Bar soap graphic up?
Hey, as a matter of fact, I really love that. That was your segue. Hey, you got this. This is going well today. We love this. This is good. So,
straight to the point. Hey,
yeah,
but have you noticed our internet has not dropped one time in the past 6 minutes?
I have noticed that, and also the image looks really clear on both sides, and it's a beautiful thing because this is not something that we're used to as of late. I don't know what it is over the last couple of podcasts that we've done. One of them we started doing, and we had to basically scrap. That one was never aired because it was so bad connection wise that it was just rendered unusable. You know, nobody could hear anybody at all. But well, you know what? After last week's episode, with all the skipping and the hopping and the jumping and everything, that internet connection, it was just dirty. It was dirty. It was unclean, and somebody had to clean that bad boy up. And I think somebody was K-Bar. They took a grenade to it. Oh, is that the graphic you're looking for, sir?
That will do perfect.
Yeah, I happened to screenshot his banner, and Dagum put the thing up here because for all of his images online, Dagum would not save. So, K-Bar soap.
I'm about to say he sent over all the images.
I only got the one. That was the logo, and the logo was I couldn't pull up the logo either. It's crazy.
Oh, you want to leave that up so I can talk about it for a second?
Yeah, talk about it.
Yeah, K-Bar soap, as you can tell, ditch the bar, grab a grenade. It's premium. It's long-lasting. Of course, it's all natural. And he took it away again. Okay,
You're back. Fine. Keep going.
Veteran-owned, veteran-operated, right here in Lancaster, not Lancaster, South Carolina, York, South Carolina. The guy makes incredible soap with ingredients you can actually pronounce.
You can speak those words.
Yeah, you can speak the words, and most of them start with essential and end in oil. Yeah. Go grab you some. Grab a grenade. And if you feel like grabbing a grenade, he has been nice enough to give us a discount code. Let him know the Hill Brothers sent you. Use code HB15 at checkout. Save 15% on a huge honking 7.62 ounce bar of grenade soap.
I feel like you did that on purpose.
What?
A 7.62 ounce. I feel like he did that on purpose.
He did do that on purpose.
See, I know his branding scheme. Me and him could get together sometime, and we could talk
Well,
branding.
Did I tell you that he doesn't mind coming on the podcast? It just has to be before 9 because he's a early riser, and he's an early riser, so he goes to bed early. Yeah. So anyway, guys, for real, go check out K-Bar Soap for all your natural soap needs, natural beard care needs. He has a lip balm, all natural hand knife cream. Get these
Hand knife cream.
Yeah, it's called hand knife. Anyway, yeah, go check him out. Go check him out. Let him know. Me and Nathan, the Hill Brothers, we sent you. Use HB15 at checkout. Save 15%. And get your clean on, baby. All right, Nathan. We're in the middle of the first round of the NCAA tournament. North Carolina squeaked in as the 68th team out of 68 teams.
Caused quite a bit of a stir, I've heard, through the interwebs.
the national media absolutely, just took a massive turd on UNC. Everybody hated UNC.
This is great.
Stephen
radio.
A. Smith, who's another? John Rothstein. Yeah, he sucks.
Shannon Sharp.
Oh yeah, Shannon Sharp. He sucks.
Guys that only watch college basketball about this time of year.
And yeah, so they all, North Carolina doesn't deserve they didn't earn their way in, so they don't deserve their way in. I think John Rothstein used the words what was the words he used?
It was a miscarriage, some type of diabolical
miscarriage of justice.
That's some strong words.
Yeah, that's really strong.
That is, I have heard, I have heard those English words, but never formulated in that sequence before. That is a brand new one to me.
And wouldn't you know it, that John Rothstein would have to be at the first four and have to do in-game interviews and talk to Seth Trimble, talk to Coach Davis.
Credit to him. He did rise a brand new question, and the question being, did San Diego State deserve to be in? So it's a good pivot here. I feel like I'm watching a WWE program when they just pivot around this time of year. It's good stuff.
North Carolina obviously goes on to blow, to be leading by 40. So
win by 27.
We all know how that went. I couldn't. I was having the time of my life as North Carolina just absolutely dismantled, quote unquote, the best defensive team in the NCAA. That's the one that really sent me over the edge. They hung 95 on the best team in the defensive team in the NCAA. This just goes to tell me the Mountain West, whatever they do to make themselves look good throughout the regular season, they're really not good. Period.
Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing back during college football season with Boise. Like Boise was a good football team, but they were not as hyped up as they should have been.
How are you?
I think I said that. I think I just misspoke my own words. They were hyped up more than they should have been. I think that's what I was trying to say. It's 2 coffees in. 2 coffees in.
Apparently they haven't let up like 47 points in a game this season, but they let up 47 and a half.
Yeah.
So my question. Let's just see who San Diego State played. You want to see who San Diego State played to make them the best defensive team in the country?
Speaking of which, Drake is about to knock off Missouri as we're speaking right now.
That's scary. Okay,
61 to 55 with a minute 8.
San Diego State beat Nevada 80-61. UNLV beat San Diego State 74-67. San Diego State beat Wyoming 69-72. I don't see these 40-point games. Let's see. San Diego State beat New Mexico 73-65. Utah State beat them 79-71. They beat Fresno State. They beat San Jose State. Colorado State beat them 68-63.
What
They
about
beat
do they have any Power 4 opponents anywhere on their schedule through any of the months?
Oh, here we go. Oh no, New Mexico beat San Diego State 62-48. Golly, that's tough. Oh, they did beat Air Force 67-38. That's a good
Power
defense.
4. I don't care about the Mountain West or any of those naval academies. We all know that they're boo boo. At least, I mean, Air Force had a run, I think, last year.
They beat California 71-50. That's an ACC school.
Yeah. That was the ACC. That was the bottom barrel of the ACC this year.
That was in December. Now, San Diego State was ranked 23rd in December.
Well, I mean, that's December. North Carolina was ranked number 9 in the beginning of the season.
Number 3 Gonzaga drug them 80-67. Oregon beat them 78-68. Okay. I can see it, I guess. They beat Creighton 71-53 in the fourth game of the season. They beat Houston in overtime in the 6th game of the season 73-70. So their best wins came in November.
And boy, North Carolina would have loved to have had some of those at the very beginning of the year. Dadgum. Yeah. And everybody was talking about like West Virginia and Indiana. Indiana, the team that fired their head coach Woodson through the middle of the season, and getting the brand new head coach. West Virginia team that I think they had some I forget exactly what quad one wins that they had, quote unquote, but they got beat horrifically.
I think they went on the road and beat Purdue or whatever.
Yeah, and the conversation being, oh my God, how in the world could you not put Indiana in over North Carolina and all this, that, and the other thing? Everybody's going to get pissed off. When you're the last one in, everybody's going to be mad about something. And I would just say,
affirmative.
How many bad wins did North Carolina have this year? Stanford. Who else did they have that was a bad loss? Off the top of my head, I can't think of many. Like it was legit. Like that, you should not lose that game. You had the Stanford game.
Stanford.
Help me out. Your memory's better than me.
You're asking the teams that North Carolina shouldn't have lost to?
You're right.
Stanford.
That were the ones that would be qualified as bad losses.
Stanford was a bad loss.
Yeah, Stanford was bad. Honestly, they lost to Wake Forest.
Yeah, but that was quad one game.
Yeah.
They lost to Pittsburgh earlier in the year.
They lost to Pitt.
I think that was on the road. They lost
outside of that, think about it. North Carolina's losses this year. I'm sitting here looking at them. This is North Carolina's losses. Starting from what? Kansas, Auburn, Michigan State. Think about that for a second. Now, Kansas just got beat. Kansas, Auburn, Michigan State, Alabama, Florida. Everybody's picking to be national. Mass majority of people are picking to be national champions. Louisville, the reigning ACC champion. We got to the ACC championship. Should have won that daggum game, but they did not. Stanford, there's your bad one. Wake Forest, that's not too good.
It was a quad one game. That was a quad one game, so that's not a terrible loss.
I'm talking as it sits today. As it sits today, that's not a good loss. As it sits today, because Wake Forest isn't even in the tournament.
Well, neither is Dayton.
And North Carolina won that game. I'm talking about North Carolina's losses that were bad.
Yeah, I know, but that took a Herculean effort to win. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and I thought Dayton would have been in. So as I'm talking about, Dadgummit, you done messed me up. Kansas, Auburn, Michigan State, Alabama, Florida, Louisville, Stanford, Wake Forest, Pittsburgh, Duke, Clemson, and Duke again, and Duke again. That's North Carolina's losses. North Carolina's losses. Some of the best teams in the country. Now, you start going score for score on those games. North Carolina, Kansas, 3-point loss. Auburn, you got beat bad on that one. Michigan State, overtime game. Duke drug you. Florida, that was a good game back and forth. Alabama drug you. But, Carolina's resume, they don't have a ton of bad losses like teams like a West Virginia does or an Indiana does. And North Carolina's a 22-win team. I think Indiana and West Virginia both only won 19 games, got bounced out of their conference early. And, yeah, so make a case for them to be in. Oh, they had more quad one wins. Okay, yeah, they may have had more quad one wins. Perfectly fine. What's their out-of-conference schedule look like? Because ours was, top 5 in the country?
5th, I believe.
5th? Boom. There you go. Top 5. Theirs, I would love to see what that ranking is. And Carolina lost to three times to a team that is looked at to potentially be a national champion. Lost to another potential national champion. Lost to another potential national. I'm talking about people that are picking the brackets.
Yeah, it's six games. 6 games among 4 teams that have a majority of the national championship winning pick.
Yeah,
for brackets. Alabama, Florida, Auburn, and Duke.
And pretty much all 3 of those are in just about the vast majority. I would be willing to say probably over 50 to 60% of people have picked those 3 teams to be in the Final Four in their bracket.
Basically, the only one that North Carolina didn't play was Houston.
Yeah, that's basically it. And everybody, and even Jay Bills was talking about. He says, number 1 seed I think has only ever happened once, and that was in 2008. He says, I honestly think it could happen again this year, and that's who he's picked. He's picked all 1 seeds to make it to the Final Four and Florida to win the championship. I think beating Duke, as a matter of fact, which kind of surprising as a Billis.
No. He has Houston beating Duke.
So he has Florida beating Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Auburn coming out. I just kind of feel. I just got a feeling.
I have Florida beating Duke.
I have Alabama beating Duke. Anyway, yeah. So
Auburn,
all that nonsense about
Auburn?
the daggum West Virginia and Indiana, I'm about sick and tired of hearing it. Make a case for them to be in, seriously, legitimately, because you put schedule to schedule up. And if anybody has a problem with what I'm saying, just talk about Alabama versus Florida State last year, 2 years ago now, in football. Schedule versus this. Shut up. Anyway.
The ironic part, the North Carolina women, they get to host the first 2 rounds, or
I saw that.
The first 2 rounds are in Chapel Hill.
Yeah.
If North Carolina wins Saturday, and West Virginia wins, then the North Carolina and West Virginia women have to play in the second round of the tournament in Chapel Hill. What kind of sweet justice will that be that North Carolina just says boot West Virginia out again? Get out of here!
Yeah, it seems like North Carolina and West Virginia have been running into each other a lot recently. Last year in the road was the super regional or the super regional, and then you had them in the Duke's Mayo Bowl a couple of years ago, and
nasty football.
And now this, and potentially women's basketball.
Bro, the governor said he was going to take legal action against the NCAA.
Hey, it's bad. It's really bad when you've got Stephen A. Smith, a guy who just drug North Carolina. Oh, they shouldn't have been, and all this, that, and the other thing. I don't watch college basketball until daggum March. And
Drake just went final.
And then, and Tori picked that, by the way. Congratulations, Tori.
He picked Drake over Missouri.
Remember I told you that earlier?
I don't remember that. I guess me and him are tied now.
Yeah. Pack in third. Holding down the bottom of the pack. Speaking of which, this Will Wade thing to NC State, that's not official yet, right?
I don't know. I saw where Josh Goodman or whatever on Twitter, Josh Graham maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah. Jeff Goodman. Mm-hmm. He said, hey, NC State fans, Will Wade has not signed his contract yet. Because, all the NC State fans was like, oh, Bill Belichick hasn't signed his contract yet. He hasn't signed his contract yet. He might not come. Blah, 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 blah. And Jeff Goodman was like, yeah, hey, NC State fans, Will Wade hasn't signed his contract yet. So I wouldn't
think about it. Think about it. I saw also like the Texas job just came open. What happens? What if they get DeAndre Jordan? Remember when DeAndre Jordan was a free agent in the NBA back during his prime, said, okay, I'm going to sign with the Dallas Mavericks. Never signed the contract, re-signed back with the Clippers. Could you imagine if this dude who just took McNeese, beat Clemson, and built some success over there at McNeese, says, you know what? Ooh, Texas is open. By the way, rest assured, if Mac Brown walks into your program anywhere, get ready because you're getting ready to go home. It wasn't but just a couple of months ago that Mac Brown popped up back in Austin, Texas at a Texas basketball game, shaking the hand of the head coach, and that man is at the house. They're playing golf together probably in the morning. It's bad, dude. Do not let that man walk into your program. Don't let him do it. It's going to be bad for you. Hey, Sarkisian, you should have probably went to the NFL because you're getting ready to go next, buddy.
All right. Well, since we'll just segue right into the football.
Oh, I'm surprised you hadn't talked about March Madness. I mean, we got a game tomorrow. Let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about the Ole Miss game.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't really researched Ole Miss. I picked North Carolina to win. That's all you need to know.
Yeah,
he was by 90.
I don't keep up with college basketball nearly as much as I do college football. But from what I have heard about Ole Miss, they do everything pretty well or decently. They don't have a ton of size, which helps in matchups against us. But they also don't turn the ball over a lot. That is one thing. They generate a lot of turnovers, and they do not turn the ball over that much, which is something that I'll be curious to see how North Carolina attacks that. If Vin Allen Lubin, Big Lube, if that dude could keep doing what he's doing, Jesus, man. I mean, he
20 and 10.
Yeah, like welcome back, Armando Bacot. He's like little Armando Jr. We'll call him Armando Jr. Also, Hubert Davis and I guess brand new general manager is already talking to kids in the portal.
They need to get that big old footer from San Diego State.
Yeah, and also there's a West Virginia player that is in the portal, and I think Carolina reached out to him. So it's just a whole big bunch of fun over here right now.
I mean, see that's the perk of having a general manager. Your general manager can talk to these kids. The coach doesn't have to worry about it. He can coach the team during the NCAA tournament.
Yep. And even if anything, hey, a quick phone call. Hey, would you like to talk to our head coach? This is Coach Hubert Davis. Like, hey, we'd love to have you. Keep an eye on us, and we love you. We'll talk to you afterwards. Something kind of quick, brief, I'm sure, and that'll work. I'm curious to see what happens with the general manager. I'd like to see exactly what they do, because with the kids you got coming in, if they pan out, decently well, you could really, especially if Vin Allen Lubin comes back and you're able to get Zayden Hyde back potentially. If you grab another big, who knows? You could put together a pretty decently sized North Carolina team that we haven't saw in a nice little while at this point in time.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens there. Anyway, but yeah, Ole Miss, North Carolina tomorrow. By the time this comes out, it'll be the day of. So I think North Carolina is probably going to, I have North Carolina winning that game. I do have them losing in the round of 32 though. I don't think they get past that because that's when they run into Iowa State. And for some reason, the reason I picked it is because Iowa State's had our number over the last few years. I would like to see North Carolina slay that dragon. I hope that they do. But if Carolina gets past Ole Miss tomorrow, you got to get past this one. They get to the round of 32. I pick Iowa State to get the edge over them, but I guess we will see. I guess we will see.
Yep, we will see. I haven't picked over Ole Miss. I actually have North Carolina going all the way to face Auburn again. Then bowing out at Auburn. That's where
Denied
North
room going for another 30.
That's where I have North Carolina bowing out.
I'm officially out of coffee.
Game. Hey man, what you think about Bill Belichick flipping the Texas A&M guy, Trayshawn Ruffin?
Dude, I didn't know what to make of it at first, but that dude is a monster. That is what we need. This is what we need. First off, he can tell everybody, hey, by the way, guys, this is what you eat. This is what you do. You have cookies at this hour. You have steak at this hour. This is what that dude is a huge, massive dude. And not only that,
Travis Shaw to this guy.
Like I said, Steve Sarkisian, you're getting ready to go home too, buddy. But anyway,
Matt Brown going to coach the Longhorns a couple years.
Dude, if that happened, that would be the biggest. That would be the funniest thing ever. That would be the funniest thing in the world.
Oh man,
I just love the kids. I love them. They're great.
Yeah,
he's been popping up.
Arch Manning would have the first train smoking out of Austin if Matt Brown becomes coach.
Bill, save me from Mac, please. I wonder what would happen if that. I wonder if Arch did hit the portal, where in the heck would he go? He's not going to, but where would he go? That dude's going to play 1 year next year, and then that man's probably going straight to the NFL, first overall pick. I can 100% see, unless he just does not live up to expectations. That dude is 100% number 1 pick next year. Absolutely. Speaking of which, North Carolina picked up a Penn State edge transfer.
Yeah, we on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
6'6", 285, cuh.
Yeah, you pair him up with you got Bo Atkinson, you got Vilbert, you've also got what's that dude's name? Bless it. Out of UConn. Bryce Yates. Got him. Also got the French guy, which I don't know how to say his name. Melkart. I'll say his first name. Melkart. That dude looks like Pisatino Samoa, and I love his. He just looks like an animal. I freaking love that guy. He's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, you team that. The trenches are going to be big this year. I would like to see them potentially pull another offensive lineman if they could. I think they definitely need some help there. You got 3 returners from the starting lineup back, if my numbers are correct. I think so. Aiden, Trey, and Blasky. And that's it. They're having to plug and play everybody else, and you lost a couple of the reserves back there too. So I'd like to see them pick up a couple more guys in the portal via the offensive line, if possible. But my biggest question mark is quarterback. That's my biggest question.
Yeah.
Who is going to be the guy? And
no clue.
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't have any clue at all. And I would love to be at that spring practice, but I'm not going to be able to.
Lombardi was on McAfee today. Said they're not having a spring game. They are having a spring event. That's what he said.
What did he say the day?
I suppose the spring event will be the day of that open practice for everybody. We can go watch the practice at 6:30, then autograph session afterwards.
I like the spring game. It's always fun for me to do. I did see, I think it was Colorado. Dion said that he wanted to do a spring game against somebody, and evidently that Syracuse was open to the idea.
Yeah, like a little scrimmage.
Like I would like that.
But see, I don't know. I don't know what the NCAA regulations are with how much contact, like actual pad to pad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I honestly think you would probably have to do just like you would see a spring game. Can't hit the quarterback. And I'm sure if somebody hit the quarterback in that situation, if you did a scrimmage like that, then probably there would be some severe punishment that would come down on that
Yeah, I
player.
just wonder if it'd be more like a 7-on-7 type game, not like a. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. That makes sense though. I like that.
Like
Be a good idea.
like the actual game would be like 7-on-7, quarterback receivers.
Right.
Then like maybe on the other end of the field or after the 7-on-7's done, like you bring the offensive line and the defensive line in. The
Yeah.
defensive line has say 4.5 seconds to get to the quarterback, which is one of those like tall inflatable things that you just come around and smack. You know what I'm saying? Like one of them whoppy things you used to have as a
Yeah,
little
that's
kid,
a
but
car
bigger.
dealership little guy.
No, not that guy. The big pad thing, and if
Oh
you
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and
It's got
then
like
it's
a
like yeah.
little.
So
Yeah.
you like the center goes hut and snap and like snaps the ball. Then for the offensive line has to keep the defensive line off of the inflatable guy or the padded guy for 4 seconds, 3.5 seconds, 4 seconds. I don't know, and see who wins. Good on good that way. Um, that's the only way I could see it being against another team because I mean the last thing you want to do is somebody get hurt for a
Right.
spring game against another team. Because I mean, at the same time, you're not going to put anything on film that you're not going to put anything out there for somebody else to see.
Yeah.
You don't want a scout out there for
I
week
want.
one.
I wonder how many undercover guys are going to be in the crowd that night at the spring practice.
Oh, I would expect a lot, but at the same time, I expect Bill Belichick to be about as bland as
Flakes.
sugar-free Cheerios.
Yeah, I was about to say like frosted flakes without the frosting. Regular old flakes.
Hmm.
Yeah. Did you see that guy did you see old Billy doing some yoga on the beach with his chick?
No, I didn't see that. I saw where he was
Dude.
dropping off pizza to the women's basketball team.
Yeah. Yeah, he was on the beach on his back with like his legs up and she was like laying down on top of his legs like up in the air like she was an airplane.
Yeah.
It was the dumbest thing in the world. I'm like, all right, just do your thing, man. Handy heel
I
candle, baby.
wonder. I wonder what guy with a 6-pack and tree trunks for arms like picked her up and set her on top of his legs, like hold right here, don't move.
I don't know. Bill Belichick, that dude's crazy. I will say this: it looks like he is absolutely loving the college experience.
Yep, I would say so.
I feel like you had more to add to that.
I mean, his girlfriend's college student age,
Oh yeah.
so he's loving the college experience.
I think you thought a little too heavy in that.
I think, yeah, I guess so. But
Yeah.
I'm sure he's enjoying his time in North Carolina as well.
Yeah, it seems so, man. He seems like he's daggum everywhere. He's in the Dean Dome. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's going to different places. He's
Delivering pizza all over campus. I mean,
yeah, he's become the
call
pizza
up
guy.
call up Papa John's, and who knows, Bill Belichick might show up to your door.
Yeah, no joke. I mean, dude, I think it's Domino's. I think he's a
Oh,
Domino's
is it
guy.
Domino's? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
he's
the
a big
cheap
Domino's
way
guy.
out.
What do you mean the
Jesus.
cheap way out? Domino's is
Oh
good
my.
pizza.
Mm.
You just a fanboy because you used to be a nard for him.
A what?
You used to be one of those little shoe shine boys over there. Here's your pizza, sir. Thank you. Have a great day. Old pizza nart.
I never shined nobody's shoes over there.
You old shoe shine boy.
Well, tell me how you really feel.
Yeah, no joke. Hey, how about North Carolina baseball? How's that going? One phone call later. I don't even say that. I'm not gonna say that.
They've scored 1 run in the past 2 games.
It's still early season. They're all right. Ken Kepley hit his first home run of the year, so they're
In the first inning.
Yes.
And then they never scored
First
another
pitch
one.
for him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fire.
I think in that game they were like 0 for 14 with runners on base.
Right.
So when somebody got on base, they could not get a hit. Period.
Yeah, they're having some offensive issues, some lapses. I think Scott Forbes is kind of just trying to figure out the lineup still. I think he's, just a lot of new players, still got some figuring out to do. And transfers to, I don't know. I think they'll be all right. I think they'll be fine.
Hey man, this series against Boston College coming up today, tomorrow, whenever you listen to this, which will actually be the Friday. You'll listen to it on Friday. The first game of the series will be today. And I mean, this is a big time series. Jake Knapp has switched places with Jason DeCaro. Jason DeCaro is going to start Saturday, Knapp Friday. DeCaro's man, he's been struggling, man. I don't know if he's been struggling or if but I don't know if he's just running to hot bats or if I don't know. I don't know. But DeCaro has been getting beat up on his past 2 outings, and that's not something that North Carolina's used to. And it seems like every time Jake Knapp takes the field, the offense comes alive. And then, Aiden Houck comes in and pretty much dominates, but never gets any run support. So, and that's a thing that North Carolina was so good at last season was winning on Sundays. North Carolina was terrific on Sundays. But this is a big time series. I mean, the last thing you want to be is 3 and 6, 3 and 6 in the conference, or heaven forbid 2 and 7. If you get swept by BC.
Yeah, I need to do better in these conference games. I'm not too familiar with BC. I don't know exactly how good they've been doing. I will say one thing. I do wish that ESPN would allow you to see like the standings of college baseball a whole lot better than you can, because you have to like look stuff up and everything else.
Yeah, the ESPN app is not good for baseball.
Yeah, they really sleep on it. College baseball is extremely fun to watch and everything.
And I think it's a growing sport.
You're right.
But yeah, okay, so this game it worked. So Florida State played Miami today actually and beat them 14-1 in 7 innings. But you can click on that game and it'll bring up the box scores, the scoring, like any other baseball game.
Right. Sometimes they do game cast and box scores. Sometimes they just don't.
For number 1 Alabama beat number 1 Tennessee today, 6-5. You can bring up the box score game cast for that one. But Vanderbilt, Tennessee, no game cast. So what dictates who gets game cast and who doesn't? I'm not sure.
Okay, so one thing I think that it is, and we used to do this a lot when I used to work for Learn TV, was, with every game, there's so many of them that it's hard to have a representative there for all of them. So they just say bump it, because a lot of places won't do won't run a box score or run a game cast like that if their guys aren't there. They could use somebody else's information, but they would have to credit that source, and they don't want to do that because they want it all for themselves. So they get the people that they can get to go to these places, and they probably try to pick the best games available at the time, and then that's the ones that get the fancy dancy technology and the game cast and this is the box score and this is who ate popcorn and this is who bought Cracker Jack, and they do all that daggum thing. So that's about the best thing I could probably think. I'm sure there's a legitimate thing for that.
And I know there's a lot more college teams than MLB teams, but every MLB game has a game cast.
Well, yeah, it's also a professional league. It's a professional league.
It's just frustrating when you're trying to keep up with it and you can't watch it, or it's like not televised.
Yeah. I do wish that there was an app, and maybe there is, maybe people can tell us, that will kind of give you that will maybe pull in all the local guys and the local people that do it, and their commentary and their stats, and we'll put it up there. There may be a thing for that. I really don't know. What to look into that.
There's a good app for like the radio calls. I think I've told you the Varsity Network.
Yeah, you put me on that last year.
And North Carolina always has a radio representative at the baseball game. So that's the only way I can keep track if they're not on TV is the Varsity Network app.
And most of the time, if you want to watch college baseball, you have to have ESPN Plus.
Yeah, ESPN Plus, or like a TV service that has ESPN streaming involved. Like we use the Hulu over here and
YouTube TV,
and I get that ACC Network Extra or whatever. I can watch it without having to pay for an ESPN Plus subscription.
Yeah, and I have YouTube TV and an ESPN Plus subscription because I like watching the games. If I, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, these daggum subscriptions, they're going up, man.
It's so expensive, man.
Jeez. Yeah, it is. It really is.
I mean, you gotta have a subscription for everything: Amazon Prime, Netflix.
You want to know what made me the most saltiest? Oh my god, this made me so mad. So I am a big fan of the former Animal Planet show. Was that Animal Planet? I think so. Gator Boys. You know what I'm talking about. I love that show. I would sit there and rerun that thing and just eat popcorn. I love that flicking show.
Is that the show where they go around and like
capture gators and wrestle the gators? And
but they rescue them, right?
Yeah.
It's not the ones where they go around and like kill them.
Nope.
For the money. That's probably on National Geographic or something.
No, Paul what I'm talking about? And Jimmy, I forget his last name. But one of the main reasons, for some odd reason, I've always wanted to go to Florida. I mean, I've been to Florida, but go back and legitimately spend time down there. I've always loved that show. But it used to be on Amazon. Pop it on Amazon, do your thing, have a good time, relax. They moved that sucker to Animal Planet Plus, Discovery Plus.
Yeah.
And I'm not paying $10, $15 to get the ad-free version so I can watch. So I have to sit there and rely on YouTube clips. And this is just not good. It's just not. I'm upset, and I want to watch my show because I like my stories. Anyway.
He likes Gator Boys.
They're really cool. I wanted one of their T-shirts.
But I'm talking about the old guy that's like, shoot him. You know that one? You know that Gator show?
If I do, no. I don't know. No, shoot him. I know Judy. Judy.
Shoot him.
You didn't. That's a
Swamp People.
Oh yeah, I never got into that show. I wouldn't mind going down there and actually going to down in Broward County where they film that show, where the actual like place is, because Paul Bedard still works there. Paul, the ball headed guy, that looks like Wes, as a matter of fact. Yeah, he's still down there. Jimmy's not. Jimmy's off doing whatever Jimmy does. I think he got his own rescue, but yeah, I still want to. Yeah, I want to go down there. I want to wrestle a gator.
How was it?
Film that and put it on the show. Let you guys see that. But you know what you can do. You know, if you're out and you are fighting the swamp people and you are fighting the gators and you're wrestling them, eventually you're gonna stink. You do that so much, you're gonna be put in the dirty algae-filled water. There's water moccasins and there's gunk and there's rot and there's everything in the Everglades. It's just a nasty place. You don't ever want to go out there unless you have the big pythons, the big things, and even the big old lizards. What the heck are those things called?
Iguanas.
Yes, they're getting crazy out there, I've heard. And
shout out to Python Cowboy on Instagram.
Don't know who that is, but Python Cowboy. I don't know if that is his name, his username, or is that his stage name?
That's his username on Instagram, Python Cowboy.
My brother's a big fan of a Python Cowboy. Anyway, so you're gonna smell bad. And maybe Python Cowboy, after a long day of doing whatever a Python Cowboy does, he gets a little rough and tough. He needs to clean himself up. So what better way to do it than to just, when you got all that gunk and filth and nastiness, you just pull the pin on a grenade and you just blow the whole thing up, and you just make yourself smell a whole lot better. And you do that with K-Bar soap. Premium, long-lasting, all-natural, veteran-owned and made it. I'll tell you this. If you go and look at the recipe on the back of these here bars of lovely grenades that he forms out of all the things I'm getting ready to tell you, you will notice that you can actually say and spell the words that are on the back. It has essential oils. I think there's a secret recipe that's got. I think there's one with coffee grounds in it. You can rub coffee on your face. I just shoved coffee down my gullet here. I did that 2 times over. As a matter of fact, you can get.
It's called Reveille.
Reveille. It's readily available too. If you go to kbar.com, kbarsoap.com, go to K-Bar and look this thing up, and you find that daggum logo and you click it. I don't know the daggum URL. Alan can get that for you.
kbarsoapco.com.
There you go. If you need that spelled, well, there you go. I can't help you.
kbarsoapco.com.
KBARSOAPCO.COMMOUSE. Anyway, so you can see that all at the back of these, don't think about it too hard. It'll make your brain rot. And then you'll need to shove a grenade in your ear and get in there and clean all that nonsense out. Anyway, so you take this grenade, you pull the pin, you just bite the some gun, and you might want to do that too. If you have cavities, you can bite it and chew it.
You don't need
the cavities. No, you don't eat it.
No, you take the soap, you put it in between a rag.
In between a rag.
Yeah. You fold the rag over the top of your soap, rub it real nice, place the bar back on your nice K-Bar soap dish made out of a cedar tree. Take that said rag and you commence to wash it. Wash all the stink off. Rinse off. And you're smelling like a man, not a teenager out of a locker room that just sprayed a half a can of Axe to cover up his stank.
You know, I did that one time back in the day. It was pretty good stuff.
I think everybody did it. They thought they were cool.
It was a rite of passage. It's a rite of passage. Hey, if you're a young boy, be sure and grab you a can of Axe spray and just you pass the rite of passage of being a teenage prick. Anyway, you get the thing. What if it's all natural? Can't you eat it?
No, you cannot eat it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can eat it. It's probably not going to. It's soap. It's not going to taste good.
Well, I farted bubbles today. Anyway, so you take this here soap, you rub it, you lather it up, you lather yourself up, you spray yourself down, and you're smelling pretty as a peach or a coffee ground or a pine tree. Anyway, you do
Or a
that.
bottle of whiskey. He has a soap called Whiskey and Bad Decisions. Made
See,
with Lead Slingers whiskey, another veteran-owned and operated company.
you get the soap, you get whiskey, you make bad decisions. I tell you this much right now. Whiskey and bad decisions can lead to you needing to wash the stank off. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, go to kbarsoap.com, kbarsoapco.com.
Barsoapcoat.com.
Be sure and use HB15. Whoever put 15 on the end, I have no idea. I have no idea why that number is associated with us, but I guess it's assumed is that 15%?
That is 15% off.
15% off your order of all natural premium, lovely shaped and 7.62 something ounces of pure joy and grenade fun. Be sure and smell better today. You stink and you're rotten and you need one of these. Go buy a bunch of them and then tell them that we sent you. Anyway, we've covered some basketball. We've covered some football. We've covered some baseball. How about some tennis? I'm just kidding. I have no idea.
Oh, we can't forget women's basketball, the NCAA tournament. I think we covered a little bit of it. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Because they
kick off Saturday.
They kick off? Oh boy, they've changed.
Yeah. Well, they tipped off Saturday.
Who do they play?
Stupid.
I don't know. I'm looking up, but the ESPN app's not being fast enough. See, this is why we need better equipment.
Oregon State.
Oregon State. There it is. 19-15 Oregon State versus a 14-seeded Oregon State against 3-seeded North Carolina. 27-7. Regional 2 in Birmingham.
Dang, UConn got a 3 seed. I mean a 2 seed. That's the toughest 2 seed in the tournament.
Oh, you're talking about that. Okay, I was getting ready to say. I was about to say, is UConn playing? I actually picked them to lose. I don't think they're playing. No, I think they play tomorrow. But yeah. I did pick the whatchamacallit to lose. By the way, is Tennessee only winning 77-62 against Wofford? That is a very curious thought of me. Anyway, women's basketball. They have had some really good moments throughout the season.
Yep.
And then they've had some very questionable losses.
Virginia.
Yeah, right. That was definitely a big one. Lost by 3 there, and got what was it? That was another one that I'm
got that big win against NC State.
Yeah, they ended up losing to NC State there in the tournament. As a matter
in the tournament, they lost to NC State.
Did not go well either. But I think Utsby was having some injury issues. Am I incorrect on these things?
Yeah, she had some injury issues. Stuff.
She was having some. Yeah, she's definitely having some injury issues. So, Carolina. This I feel like with this women's team. Correct me if I'm wrong, Alan, because you probably have saw this a whole lot more than I have. But it feels like to me we're kind of in the same situation that we always are in with the Carolina women's basketball team. It's kind of when they're hot. But when they face really tough competition, it's kind of maybe they show up.
No, I wouldn't. I don't think it's the lack of showing up. With the women's, from what I can gather, I'm not going to be like, oh, I got my finger on the pulse of women's college basketball,
right?
Because I don't. But what I have noticed, there is probably 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 teams that are legitimate. It's not like men's basketball where talent is spread equally. Like there's a lot of talent throughout the country and it just goes everywhere. It's not like that. South Carolina gets a lot of the talent. UConn, lots of talent. USC, lots of talent. Now Texas has lots of talent.
Right.
Notre Dame, they are talented. I don't know. This is a roundabout way of saying there's levels to this.
Yeah, it's kind of
And
like college football.
North Carolina is not on that level. North Carolina State is trying to break into that level. Now, I'm not sure if North Carolina State just has older players that are good and they're just older, so now they're like trying to break into that top level. I think North Carolina is a tier 2 basketball team, and this is not me trying to downtrodden. It's just they don't have the absolute takeover talent that the South Carolinas, the USCs, the Yukons, the Texas that they have, and that's just how the women's game's going. I'm not saying that North Carolina cannot get into that tier 1 talent level right now. I just think North Carolina is on the come up with the talent level. They got some good freshmen. They got some good high, typically if you get a 5-star elite player as a freshman and they stay at your school, it's not one and done. I'm not even sure if there's ever been a one. There might have been. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I don't think the women's college game has one and dones.
Yeah.
Because if you're a bona fide legit basketball player for the women's game and you don't decide you want to transfer, then you're with that school for 3 or 4 years. And then you can build around that bona fide superstar. And then other bona fide superstars wants to play with an established bona fide superstar. And, that's how a snowball that rolls downhill turns into an avalanche. And that's why, UConn was so dominant for so long. Tennessee's been dominant for so long now. South Carolina has been dominant for so long.
I have an answer. Google has informed me. One and done in men's college basketball is common, but it's a normal thing. Women's college basketball, it doesn't exist at all. In order to be eligible for the WNBA draft, players must have graduated or be within 3 months of graduation or turn 22 during the draft year to be eligible.
See, there you go.
Boom. That's why Angel Reese was that daggum LSU for so long.
And see, LSU. You had Angel Reese.
Collection of talent.
You had a collection of talent. South Carolina, the past couple years, you had a collection of talent. You still have a collection of talent. My 13-year-old is a retard.
He wants some big booty Judies.
And North Carolina hasn't landed that bona fide superstar. I know what you're doing. And you're not wrong there.
I know, believe me.
But yeah, North Carolina hasn't gotten the bona fide superstar to attract other superstars to stick around for that 4-year term.
Sounds like to me that North Carolina just needs to go win. Like if North Carolina was able to find a way to find themselves into a Final Four or something like that, that would help them on the recruiting trail, obviously, because, hey, maybe we're being a little bit more of a successful program depending on your year. Like North Carolina's had a good year this year. If they were able
27-7.
Right. If they were able to find themselves in that Elite Eight Final Four section, maybe they can really start to legitimately step into that next tier.
And
if
the women's bracket,
I don't even know what it looks like, to be honest with you. I gotta figure out. I don't even know what their women's bracket even looks like. Currently right now, college basketball. I love how we find this stuff out all on the stuff here.
I'm pretty. Let's see. The bracket that North Carolina is in is not favorable.
I'm trying to see exactly where they are. They are in the. Oh, here we go. They got Oregon State. Then, if they won that, they would face West Virginia potentially. Then they could meet a Duke,
Yeah,
Oregon,
Duke, South
Vanderbilt,
Carolina.
Lehigh.
Yeah.
Jeez. North Carolina, they would, in order to get to the Final Four, they would have to go through a team like South Carolina.
Yeah, you're going to have to go through. In order to make it, North Carolina has to beat Duke. They split with Duke this season. You're going to
The
have to
second
beat
game, they played honorably, but they were just down players. They didn't have everybody there.
Yeah. They were down India Navarre and Alyssa Hutchby, and still
it
had
was it was a good game up until the very end, and then Duke just had enough people just to put it away.
You're going to have to beat South Carolina, and then in the Final Four to reach the national championship game, more than likely you're going to have to beat Texas. And then your consolation prize is either UCLA or USC.
Yeah,
or
and
possibly
Juju
UConn has already bopped you.
And that's what's her name? Paige Buchers, is that her name?
Paige Buchers, her last season's this year, I believe.
Yeah. I think she's eligible for draft next
But
year.
I guess let's just see what happens. North Carolina should definitely beat Oregon State. North Carolina should probably definitely beat West Virginia. Then if chalk holds, then you get Duke, North Carolina, a Sweet 16 match.
Hey man, grab a grenade, man. Clean that up.
Then Sweet 16, you win that one. Congratulations, you get to play South Carolina for a chance to go to the Final Four. And that's huge.
North Carolina played South Carolina was it last year, and it was a good game. It was a really good game. And
then they that was 2 years ago. They played them in North Carolina. Last year they played them in South Carolina and absolutely got mollywopped.
Oh yeah. I thought
they had that big old 7-foot Brazilian girl. She was Cardonza.
Oh, Cardone. I know you're talking about. Yeah.
She was filthy with it.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see how Carolina would do in that situation. I don't know. It's March Madness. I feel like the madness is bigger during the men's because, like you said, I think you put it at a good point there. Like there are so many. The talent is a whole lot more spread out.
Yeah, there's not a lot of madness in the women's game right now.
Right.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
This may be the year it starts happening crazily. Who knows?
But yeah, so that's our time in women's basketball corner.
Yeah, man, we know how to do it. I tell you, we know so much.
We know so much about it. We Googled it right in front of you.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it. Tomorrow, 4:20, or today, as you guys are seeing it, 4:20 p.m. North Carolina takes on Ole Miss. I'll be curious. And by the way, UCLA is just dragging Utah State, which is good. I did pick UCLA to win that. Which is, UCLA has been one of those teams that have been very up and down throughout the season. They were up when we faced them, and then after we beat them, they started to really fall. The coach was going at them, and this, that, and the other thing, and it feels like
they called him soft. He called his team soft, man.
Yeah, and our friend AJ over there at THI was not a big fan of that. Drake beat Missouri. That's nuts.
Yeah,
there's some madness right there. Some madness.
There's been a lot of madness today. McNeese. I wish I'd have picked that McNeese game because everybody was picking the McNeese game.
Yeah, I did see a thing where the McNeese game was like everybody was kind of picking like them as the Cinderella this year.
Yeah.
Like if there was the most probable Cinderella, McNeese, and honestly, I had no idea who the flip McNeese was, quite frankly.
Well, apparently
I
that
don't
coach was like somehow tied with Clemson a couple years ago. Like was coaching on the had some kind of coaching to do with Clemson. I believe. I think I heard because I saw a meme, a GIF about it, and it said Clemson entering the tournament as a whatever seed, and they was all up excited. Then McNeese State popped up, and they was all like, then like the dude just start, like there was a picture of a dude just like crying his eyes out because they, as soon as they saw, there was like anybody but McNeese, and they got McNeese. I wish I had that GIF I could send you, but I don't remember where I saw that. But yeah, so
question
I
if
don't have an
if
answer.
Will Wade does take the NC State offer. What could that team be?
I guess he'd have to build his talent pool first.
Do you think some of his guys would? I don't know what the roster looks like over there at McNeese, but if he has some younger guys not
Yeah,
going into the NBA draft, do you think they may follow him? You see it
I
happen in college
guess.
football.
Oh yeah, you see it happen in college football, but I guess it depends on if he thinks they can hack it. But I mean, I guess they just proved they can hack it. They knocked out Clemson.
Right, right. And
Uh,
I mean, honestly, quite frankly, I'll be curious to see because
I mean, I think McNeese could be NC State's roster, so why not just transfer? Like McNeese, you get NC State's roster. NC State, you get McNeese's roster. And I'm gonna coach these guys, you coach those guys, and that's just how it's gonna work.
so McNeese will face Purdue.
Yeah.
Let me see them against Purdue because here's something about Clemson this year. Clemson has been good majority of the year, but it kind of felt like they peaked at a wrong time because they
They
started.
definitely on the way back home now.
Yeah. Like they got into the ACC tournament,
2 of the 4
and
ACC teams are gone
yeah,
on the first day.
um,
And I'm not gonna say if the other two teams go home tomorrow, that's fine with me too.
let me find Clemson here. Okay, so here's March. They started kind of having some games where they were, I don't know, it just kind of felt like they were starting to lose themselves a little bit. Now they did lose. It's Chase Hunter's brother, I think Dylan Hunter. He broke his hand, I think, in the game against, maybe it was SMU. He broke his
Yeah.
hand in the ACC, and they barely beat SMU. They beat them by 3, and SMU's down there in the NIT right now. Speaking of which, do we have an update on the NIT? What's going on with them? Because I know you told me that Georgia Tech got blew to
Yeah, I haven't
smithereens.
been keeping up with the NIT.
They took an actual grenade down the throat. But Louisville had their number this year. Louisville just had their number. But I don't know. Something felt off about Clemson. There's little buddy. Hey, dude. Huh? Little man's
Hey,
just having himself a good time.
hey.
Did he just get used a little bar of soap on him?
No, that it's not it's not kid friendly. If it gets in your eyes, it tends to burn.
Yeah. Yeah, he is a little on the small side. You don't want to get the soap in your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I still have a problem with that from time to time.
You want to tell him hey? Tell him hey.
I was hoping he'd see me. Huh? He's just.
I think he can see you. He's just like enamored with the thing.
Oh yeah, he loves that thing. Didn't he like peel a chunk out of that thing somewhere?
Yeah. Right.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I can see.
Well,
I can.
We're just recording.
Yeah.
Oh.
You gotta love the live stuff, guys. Gotta love the live stuff. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. Clemson just felt weird to me. Something about Clemson just kind of felt like they potentially could be beat. And then they end the season back-to-back losses, one to Louisville and one to McNeese. So McNeese is a team that just seemingly came in with a chip on their shoulder. We've saw teams like that do that before. And I'll be curious to see exactly what Will Wade will do if he does decide. And I see sources say he's agreed to the NC State offer.
Oh yeah.
We'll see. I still think that if he hasn't signed on that dotted line, anything could happen. And since he's quote unquote accepted the offer, Texas came available. And if Texas wants to go get him, I'm sure Texas will be like, hey, by the way, I know you may have agreed to terms. Have you signed the contract? No? Okay. come hang out with us.
Yeah.
Let Archie Manning talk to you for a second.
Yeah.
Just tell you about how great Texas is, the program.
Yeah.
And all the cool things we could do here. But yeah, I'll be curious to see. But what do you say, dude? Ready to call this day?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
gotta do the PM workouts, as a matter of fact. I haven't done that.
It's time. It's time to call this one.
Mm-hmm. It's time for the PM workouts. I haven't done those yet.
No.
I was waiting to do it after this.
Yeah. Well, that's a long time.
Yep. That and I ate earlier, and I didn't want to throw up.
Oh yeah,
anyway.
that's big time too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Oh yeah, you wanted me to do this. I don't remember.
Speak to us. Speak to us, young sir.
Oh, hold on. So the entrance was on the mellow side. All right, so here we go. All right, guys. Well, that was another episode of the Hill Brothers. We hope you enjoyed it. Come back and see us next Friday for episode 16. Little recap of the NCAA tournament. Hopefully the Tar Heels are still alive. The baseball team swept Boston College. Yeah, you know how it goes.
One in that series.
You know, it's always go Heels.
Go Heels.
So go Heels and night.
You used to be such an astute young man. The podcasting world has absolutely destroyed you.